Howdy y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to do something different, something a little easier, something to take the stress off of our backs from many hours of grinding and hunting on the newly released Salswiesen Park. We're going to do a lodge tour today, and I'm not going to do just one. We're currently in my first gold lodge here. I'm going to show you around my first gold lodge, my second gold lodge, my Yukon lodge, which is a work in progress, and my diamond lodge, which will always be a work in progress. And I guess we're saving some time today because there's no loadout for us to go over today. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, I did do a lodge tour for my Insta Lodge, which can be found in the description, but that video was made quite some time ago, so I figured a new update would be nice. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started on the obvious. A very pretty gray brown bear. I'm not sure how rare gray is, but I'm pretty sure at the time it was considered a spirit bear, but I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a completely different fur type. Up here on the wall, I have a piebald mallard scoring 16.3. That is a gold. Piebald used to be rare for mallards. They used to be pretty rare, but they are not now. They are a more common plumage type in mallards specifically, so it's not nearly as cool when you think back on it unless it's a diamond. But I do also have a piebald diamond mallard, which I will show you later. Here's the inside wall of the first room in my gold lodge. Nothing super crazy, nothing super rare. I think this is a cinnamon bear, and I think that's the rarest fur type that I have. Cinnamon and black bear is a rare fur type, but it's the only rare fur type in this room, I think. Over here, I do have a couple of dilute mule deer, but I don't think they're nearly as rare as people make them out to be, at least in my opinion. These two were shot, if I'm not mistaken, well before the mule deer model changes. Their racks are puny, they're pretty small, but they're white mule deer, and that's appealing in and of itself, even if they're not albino or leucistic. Here's the wall to the very right on the other side of the lobby in my gold lodge. Nothing super special here either, just a couple black buck, a couple pronghorn, some muntjac, and a butchered axis deer head mount. This is supposed to be a diamond. It was diamond when I spotted it, and I've messed up the shot. So that's why I've got just his rack here instead of his entire head. Not to mention this big bar here going across the wall. It kind of gets in the way of the antlers anyway. I have all kinds of cool stuff in here, not just high-scoring males. I've got all kinds of different rare fur types. Just keep your eyes peeled for just a moment. I gotta find them. For example, I have this gold-scoring Mexican bobcat in the blue fur type. Blue is a rare fur type for bobcat. My hunting partner, Nathan, actually has a diamond blue Mexican bobcat, which is a dream-come-true kind of trophy because these bobcats are just so pretty. Here's another piebald mallard. Again, this was a more recent trophy within the last 3 years or so. So at that time, it was not a rare fur type, but it used to be. Here's one of the coolest trophy mounts that I have ever made. This is a melanistic mountain lion with a score of 37.8, chomping into the throat of a piebald black-tailed deer. The mela pumas and mountain lions are so striking, and the black-tailed deer are gorgeous, but I wish that there were different piebald types, piebald variations in black-tailed deer, kind of similar to pronghorn. You know how you can kill two different pronghorn that are piebald and they both have different piebald designs? I wish it were that, but for black-tail too. This mule deer was a troll, and it's one of two trolls on this wall alone. He scored 282.9, but he was a level 5, and this one was the other level 5. They were in the same herd. He scored 284. I unfortunately did butcher the shot on this one. Both of them were found on Silver Ridge. For some reason, the lodge is glitched, so it's not going to display the scores for these two, but I've got quite a few of these multi-mounts hanging up because at one point I was looking for a diamond tiger and I was looking for a diamond barrasinga, and I was able to achieve that, but not without taking away a bunch of gold scoring barrasinga and tiger. So far, I do not have any rare fur types for the tiger, but I do have a couple rare barrasinga. I do think they're just either leucistic or piebald. Up here on the wall is a pair of female piebald Rocky Mountain elk. They're just far too pretty to ignore, but I don't have any floor space to completely display them in their entirety, but they are very pretty. Next to them, I have an albino female axis deer as well as a melanistic axis deer, and I'm going to be honest with you, like, his rack belongs in a hall of shame. Like, I don't know what to make of this, not just uneven, but small, ugly rack. But on top of him being melanistic, he was just far too crazy looking for me not to put him up on the wall. Over here, we have a leucistic gold black buck scoring 118.3. Very cool, very cash money. And underneath it, a melanistic lesser kudu with a very piddly, piss-poor small rack. He only scored 18.7. but his value is not in his trophy rating. The value is in his skin, or I guess his fur. Across the way here, I have a light brown normal Rocky Mountain elk scoring 404.3, so huge. But right next to him, I also took his brother. He was also in the same herd. He scored 287.6, but he's a piebald. I don't think these are rare at all. I was looking over them for just a minute, but these are some recent shots from Salsweezen Park, minus the woolly hair. I have a black fur type goldeneye, a red-brown fur type ferruginous duck, a Eurasian widgeon in a brown fur type, and a gray gadwall. Over here I have a cinnamon brown bear. I have 2 gray fur type mountain lions. Gray is not a super rare. I don't even think it's necessarily a rare fur type, but it's definitely uncommon. But I have all kinds of these. Here's my Gemsbok wall. I do have a dark Gemsbok scoring 319.3. And I do actually have a male diamond Gemsbok, but he is not in this lodge. In fact, he's not even on my PC lodge at all. He's on my PlayStation 4 lodge, so maybe that will come next if you guys enjoyed this tour. Out of all the fur type in Gemsbok, I've yet to harvest the rarest one. I believe it's blonde. I don't have a blonde one. I know there's a beige and a blonde, and I have not harvested a blonde yet. I also have 2 different leucistic muntjac, and I should have more, but they were so common on my map, I wasn't really sure if leucistic was a rare fur type for them or not. I killed 4 in one hunting session, so I just stopped harvesting them. Unfortunately, I should have kept harvesting them because they are valuable even if leucistic wasn't really that rare in muntjac. I don't know if this counts as well, but I've got a couple different Eclipse fur type gadwall in here. I don't think Eclipse is as rare as people are making it out to be because it's new, but I do think it's a really, really, really interesting plumage type for gadwall. It's very pretty, and it differs heavily from the normal fur types for gadwall. I don't think this one's rare all that much either, but he was just so striking I had to have him. I love the molting plumage type pheasants. They're beautiful. The only fur types, at least to me, that would make this pheasant any prettier than the molting type would be the Great One variants. Okay, now we're getting into some fun stuff. I have a pair of piebald red deer back here to start off this room. Next to it, I have a mule deer scoring 300.6. I'm pretty sure this was a troll. If it's not a troll and this was a diamond, then I definitely butchered the shot because 300 is ginormous for a mule deer. Up here on the wall, I have some pretty high-scoring ducks. I've been on Salsweezen almost exclusively as of late, except for the Canada goose that I just shot. I was on Yukon for that. This one's a black fur type scoring 1030. That's huge. This 922.2 gadwall is not as big as some others, or as big as it can be without touching diamond. I would know. I actually have a gadwall that scores 1049 point something, and diamond for gadwall is 1050. I have a 890.8 tufted duck, a 987.6 ferruginous duck. I also have a diamond of this. I also got that recently. A 346.7 scoring Eurasian teal. I also have a diamond of this. And I have a brown hybrid 19.5 mallard. I'm pretty sure 19.6 is diamond for mallard. It's 19 point something, so this is a huge mallard. Next to me is a piebald female pronghorn. This is one of a couple different variants of piebald that you can find in pronghorn. This one's the less interesting one in my opinion. I do like it better when they're mostly white splotches instead of just little white dots. I think it's more noticeable that way, more appealing, but that's just me. And next to her, I have a female albino blue wildebeest. Now, blue wildebeests, in my opinion, are probably the easiest diamonds to find right now. I mean, most level 4s, once you hit, like, if you spot them and they're a certain weight limit, you can almost guarantee, I want to say 3 out of 5 times they're going to be a diamond, and you probably already have one running around your map as we speak, so go check that out. Of course, I've got a couple of tigers just laying about from Nepal, but they're not really doing anything interesting. I think they're just taking up some space while I try to find some more stuff to fit them. And here are some red deer from my grind that took several months to complete. I finally got my diamond red deer, and I had so many gold red deer that I didn't know really what to do with them. I've got a bunch of different moose and elk and turkeys along this wall leading into the kitchen area. I don't think I have any rare fur types here. Oh, this is a melanistic Merriam turkey, and honestly, the coolest turkey that I have ever killed. I've killed an albino. I know I have. I don't think I have an albino in my PC lodge, but I believe I have an albino in my PlayStation 4 lodge. And even still, the melanistic just trumps the albino. And this is the only instance, I think, that the melanistic variant of the animal trumps how pretty the albino one is. Just look at those feet. You know what I mean? This whole bird is just gorgeous. Here I have a straw fur type tar. Not anything incredibly impressive and not anything super duper rare. Straw, if I'm not mistaken, is not a rare fur type at all. It's just a really pretty, uncommon fur type, but I think this is the only tar that I have in all of the lodges that I own. I almost forgot about these two beauties here in the center. I have a pink feral pig, the only pink pig that I have ever been able to find ever. So super high achievement for me, even if it is just a female scoring 25.5. That's a bronze. She's very, very pretty. Right next to her, also one of the coolest trophies I have ever taken in my entire career playing on Call of the Wild, which spans over several years. I have an albino red fox as well that I will show you, but I think the piebald variant of the red fox is so much prettier than the albino. I hate that I flubbed this shot. Even if he would have just scored silver, I would have loved to have the full trophy rating for this fox. He is simply the prettiest fox I have ever taken. At least he is for now, until I find my great one foxes. Again, a whole bunch of geese and moose. There's some, oddly enough, goats. There's some whitetails, some gray foxes, some gemsbok over here. I don't have too many of these, and I'm kind of embarrassed of its score. It's a silver sitting in a gold lodge, and it's not a rare fur type, so she's kind of just hiding out back here, or he's kind of just hiding out back here. But snow leopards being as rare as they are, I just had to frame it on the wall just to say, hey, I got one. I also have a pair of piebalds here. The one on the wall is a whitetail, and the one in the full body mount is a blacktail. Now back here, you're going to find a whole, smorgasbord of stuff. Just normal run-of-the-mill stuff. Except this piebald female mallard. I guess I have a penchant for taxidermizing piebald mallards. But I do have tons of other yaks, water buffalo. There's a tiger trying to crawl out of the wall, and there's 3 others above its head. Here's a pair of piebald mallards. I have so many of these. I guess I thought they were still rare, but unfortunately they're not. Hey, new drinking game. Every time I say that piebald and mallard is not rare, take a shot. Try not to get alcohol poisoning. Anywho, I think that's the most interesting stuff out of this lodge. Let's move on to my second gold lodge. Okay, starting off strong for my second gold lodge. This is an albino male yak scoring 218.9. This was crazy. This was launch day, I'm pretty sure. He was a launch day initial spawn albino wild yak. Crazy work. Also, nothing super duper crazy on the wall here. It's very disorganized in my opinion. I feel like there's just a little bit of everything on that wall there in this room. Here's a molting fur type woolly hair. Now, this is an uncommon fur type, but she was so pretty I just had to have her. She scored 2.7, which is a gold. Hares and rabbits can make diamond, and not just level 2, but they can be female and make diamond as well. Up here on the wall, I have yet another piebald mallard. That's a given here. But I also have a leucistic gray lag goose that I killed very, very recently. I was looking for gadwall on Salzwiesen Park and just kind of shot a goose through the weeds, and my dog brought it back to me. Lo and behold, it's a leucistic gray lag goose. And sitting next to it is an egg white gray wolf. I love wolves. Wolves are my favorite animal. So, of course, Yukon is my favorite map to hunt as a result, and I just love these white wolves. In fact, players just voted on which animals should be receiving more unique fur types going into the new year. So, wolves won that vote. The vote did take place in the Hunter Call of the Wild's official Discord. If you missed out, you missed out. But I partook in it, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with these wolves. This is also not a rare fur type. This is just a really pretty fur type for the Merriam turkeys. This one scored 4.2, 4.6 is diamond. I just love the white and brown mix, but of course it does not beat the melanistic. Here's another cool multi-mount in my second lodge. This one is a caramel snow leopard scoring 27.6, chasing down a botched diamond blue sheep scoring 156.5. I normally don't keep the botched diamonds, but I had shot the snow leopard. I'm pretty sure. No, I shot the snow leopard after. So, I don't know why I kept the blue sheep then, and if that's the case. I normally don't taxidermize the botched diamonds, but something told me to, and I guess it was right, because it looks really good with that snow leopard. Here's a bunch of common tigers. When I say I hunted down tigers like nobody's business, and pretty much taxidermized all of the gold scoring ones because they're so rare technically. Like, I have a whole wall full of these and more in my first gold lodge. Over here is another cinnamon brown bear. I didn't think these were rare. So I don't, like, I've killed tons of other ones and not taxidermized them because, I mean, they were low scoring and I thought cinnamon was more common than what it was, but it isn't. And right behind it is a third one. I had more than I thought. Is cinnamon really all that rare? This might be one of those, like, again, piebald mallard situations. Here's some more cool stuff. Mostly just tigers. There's a tawny fur type Tibetan fox. I think this was the first Tibetan fox that I had ever killed. Some more funky looking tigers. Here is a botched Barasinga being carried by a Bengal tiger scoring 56.7. I'm pretty sure this was a troll. A troll tiger that I'd killed on a multiplayer map. Over here on the other side is another Barasinga scoring 175.6. Being hunted down by a Bengal tiger scoring 56.3. Now this one is particularly unique to me just because I've never seen it before. This is a piebald harlequin duck. I'm not too sure if they follow the same pattern like mallards do with piebald plumage types. I don't think this is that rare. I could be wrong, but I've never seen one of these before, so I just had to have it. This is my very first one. So brown hybrid used to be rare for Canada goose. It is no longer rare at this point. But here's two brown hybrid Canada geese fighting it out. On the wall over here, I do have a gray fur type Iberian mouflon. I don't know how rare that is, but it did differ from the rest of the Iberian mouflon in her herd. She definitely stuck out like a sore thumb, so I had to bring her home. Here's another snow leopard. It's also a silver. Pretty ashamed of that, but because snow leopards are even rarer than tigers, I had to have it. Just to say that I have it. Here's a cool trophy. Another piebald Barasinga. Now, this one was only a doe, I'm pretty sure. Or I guess where they're so big, would it be a cow? I'm not too sure. Either way, the piebald variation on the Barasinga are just chef kiss. Could not be any more pleased with the piebald Barasingas. And the rest of this room sucks. The rest of this room sucks. Just a bunch of blacktail where I was on Layton very recently. And I think that's all the cool shit in Gold Lodge number 2. So now we're going to move on to my Yukon Lodge. We're going to save the very, very, very best for last, my Diamond Lodge. But I started assembling this lodge specifically because I love Yukon. Yukon is my favorite map of all time to hunt, and it's mostly for the wolves. As you can see, I have so freaking many Yukon wolves. Over here, I have a brown, or rather a red-brown gray wolf, another egg white female, and a gray fur type female laying here howling. I also have just your normal run-of-the-mill gray wolves over here. When I say these wolves are everywhere, I mean they're fucking everywhere. There's 2 more egg whites on the wall. There's a red-brown over here next to this dark gray. I also have this albino female red fox here. I can't exactly remember how I found her. I just remember being up by the train tracks at the top right of the map and moving down so that I can go find the grizzly bear, and ended up running into her and taking her out. I was really, really stunned, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think I messed up her score. I think I messed up the shot. There are even more wolves on the wall here, as well as behind me. I was going to fill this entire section up with wolves, but I guess I just ran out of them. This lodge is also pretty empty, still a work in progress. But here's some more cool stuff. Here's an albino female moose, and right across the way, an albino plains bison. I call them affectionately the twin sisters. I want you to take a look at these dates, 2020 and 2020. This one earlier than that one. So these albino sisters here were 2 of the first rares that I ever killed for my PC lodge, point blank period. When I made the move to PC, they were the 2 rares that I had first spotted. Here's a trophy that I haven't touched on for a very, 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 very long time. This is a melanistic female grizzly bear. I can't exactly remember the circumstances of how I found her, but I'm pretty sure I have a YouTube video out from years and years ago of me taking down this exact bear and not knowing it was melanistic until I picked it up. Even more wolves, a big old moose. There's a bunch of Yukon meese. Yukon meese in here. Just kind of scattered everywhere. Oh, would you look at that? Even more wolves. Why do I have these? I think I was trying to make more multi-mounts with them, and that's why I have them saved up. But I don't know why I have them. Well, we got through that pretty quickly, but this lodge is still very much incomplete. Let's move on to the best of the best, my diamonds. So unfortunately, something really frustrating has just happened. To start out the lodge here, I had 2 different gobble gobble mounts, and Each one of them had 4 diamond turkeys in them. And now, all of a sudden, the left one has disappeared and it's not in my trophy management. I think the game just deleted one of my trophy mounts. I guess it's a good thing that diamond turkeys are a dime a dozen. But I am really frustrated about that because I had a light brown, like this female here. I did have a light brown diamond turkey, and I don't know where it went. I spawned in, and it's just gone. That's another worry for another time, I guess. Anyway, here's the first room to my left. This is a light brown male Barasinga scoring 228.9. And on top of it, feasting on it, is a Bengal tiger scoring 58.2. Again, I don't have any rare fur types, but one day I will. Here's a tiny little European rabbit scoring 2.4. I actually just killed another one of these very recently. He was a level 2, so European rabbits do make diamond at level 2 still. I wanted to clarify that because there was someone in the Call of the Wild official Discord who asked me that question. Here's my saltwater crocodile scoring 1020.1. We kind of just stumbled across him when we were going down the coast on the very right side of the map, an Emerald Coast. Was very easy, believe it or not. I was less than 100 crocs in before I found him. I actually do have a diamond caribou scoring 426.7. I was not the one to kill this. My boyfriend was over at the time, and I was gushing to him about how much I love this game and was showing him how to play it, and he actually took this one down. So, again, shout out to you, babe. I released a YouTube short a couple years back, going into detail about how I'd found this guy. He is a perfect rack pronghorn scoring 104.2, and it was just so bittersweet because I felt like I'd come completely full circle by finding him, because standing next to him is a very weird rack pronghorn scoring 98.2. So the one on the right is a level 5, and the one on the left is a level 4. This pronghorn was the first diamond I ever posted to my Instagram lodge. So it was a very bittersweet feeling coming full circle on Silver Ridge Peaks finding this guy. Diamond and mountain lions and pumas are also a dime a dozen, so I'm not gonna go super far into detail about these guys and their stories and whatnot. This one was a 39.5, this one's 39.4, and this one's 39.2, so smallest to largest. This one I kind of got a little bent out of shape about in a good way. I found a level 5 guaranteed diamond moose on Layton several years ago, way back, and the population was due to be reset not very long after I'd found him because the moose were getting redone. Unfortunately, I did lose him. I was not able to harvest him, but I got this guy very recently on New England, and I was very pleased with his score. Here is my piebald mallard scoring 19.9. Not super high above diamond, considering I think it's 98.6 for mallards, but either way, something super cool. And the shitty part is this is the only diamond in this lodge that has a cool plumage type. Sitting above my mallard are 2 female diamond gemsbok, one scoring 355.4 and the other scoring 339.5. Now, I can't remember which one it was, but one of these ladies gave me a hard run for my money. I was grinding for lions at the time, and they were resting maybe 250, 300 yards away from the drinking zone that the lions were drinking at. On top of that, the lions had a feeding zone at their resting zone, so it was a constant, like, rat race to get to my tripod and find it, and then I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off because a lion would come by and scare it. It was just a mess. One of them was a level 5 and one of them was a level 4. Now, my axis deer scored 223.8. I did take him down while the axis deer were still bugged. I took him down shortly after the true racks were released for the axis deer, and the axis deer were spawning at diamond at crazy high rates. Kind of cheap, I know, but if it'll make up for it, I did flub up like I think 3 before I took this one down and was able to put it in my lodge. This is not the only diamond gray wolf that I have between PC and PlayStation 4, but it's also straight up just not the only diamond gray wolf that I've seen. I think I've messed up 2 different diamond gray wolves at this point, but they are also diamond at a more common rate, a much more common rate than others. Even still, this one in particular was tough. I just kept finding diamonds and then messing up the shot, and then finding diamonds and messing up the shot, and then finally I was able to take one down for my lodge. I actually have an Instagram reel of this guy. So the blue wildebeest you see on the wall here was a level 4. He did have a max trophy estimate. I didn't think that he would make diamond just because I had killed so many with maximum estimates and they didn't come back to me as diamonds. I couldn't find a level 5, so I was just taking down all the level 4s and level 3s that I could, trying to make a 5 spawn. And this was a total surprise. I took a crazy pot shot on him that really could have messed up his score, which was really irresponsible. No one should do that, but I ended up gaining the fruits of my labor that evening. As for the Rocky Mountain elk here, I kind of just stumbled across him in a Discord call with Nathan. He had spent, oh god, I think it was 2 weeks or something like that, looking for a diamond Rocky Mountain elk. And while we were talking in Discord, I was on my map, my PC map, and he was playing on PlayStation 4. We were talking to each other, and I shared my screen and was like, oh my god, this is the biggest spit in the face. I mean, I'm such an asshole for this, but I found a diamond Rocky Mountain elk, and lo and behold, here he is. It wasn't very much longer after that Nathan found his, so it's totally fine. I think I took this white-tailed deer down on New England as well. If not New England, then definitely Reventouli. It was not on Layton. That much I do remember, and it was not on Rancho, although I do have a diamond whitetail from Rancho on PlayStation 4. Nathan actually helped me take that down. That was also documented in one of my older YouTube videos if you want to go back and take a look. I have 2 diamond springbok, both of which kind of stumbled on me by surprise. One scores 113.2, and the other scores 83.599999999. One of these springbok was the first animal that I shot during that session. Like, I had just started playing. It was the second animal I spotted that day. And the other, I kind of just pinged from a far out distance, shot it once. It ran off. It didn't die. And then I tracked it for like an hour, pretty much, and sniped it right there on the spot. I think less than 80 yards away. This water buffalo freaked me the fuck out. I was actually doing some pre-filming, like some B-roll footage for another YouTube video. In fact, that video was my diamond takedown video, which is way out of date now. I need to make a new one with updated information. Anyways, I was recording B-roll for that video, and he charged me, straight up just charged me. So here he comes, like steadfast, trying to kill me while I'm just looking around the map. And here we are. His head's on my wall, and my guts are not underneath his hooves. This rosy elk is very sentimental to me. This was the first diamond that I have ever killed for my YouTube channel. If you go as far back as you possibly can to all of my early Call of the Wild videos, the very first one, if not the first one, then among the first dedicated solo ones, this is the first diamond that I shot for my channel. He only scored for a 1.1, but I'll take it. I can't remember how I got this ibex. I honestly cannot remember, but he scores 200.3. This blacktail I also shot very recently. Go watch that video. I was trying to get some target practice in because Saul Sweezen was coming out at that point, and I wanted to get my sharpshooting skills back to where they were before. I kind of took a tolerance break, and I kind of just like walked up on him while I was looking around at the Mushroom Lake. If you want diamonds, go to the Mushroom Lake on Layton. I also shot this mouflon for my YouTube channel. I have a clip of me taking him down on my TikTok as well if you prefer shorter form videos. This guy also took me several hours. I want to say anywhere between 16 to 20 hours to find. I found this diamond black buck like within 15 minutes of the session. I also took this one down in the same video that my mouflon next to it was taken down in. It was really stressful, really crazy. This red fox, I will say, I didn't have to go through thousands, like hundreds of thousands of red foxes just to be able to find this one. He scored 15.1, which to me that seems like a big red fox. That's a big red fox even for a diamond. But I did go through, I think, between 100 and 130 foxes before I was able to find him. Speaking of aggravating diamonds, this kudu actually almost like made me blow my brains out, if I'm being honest. I spotted him, and then I ran through all of the zones until I got to like the very last one. By the way, you have to night hunt for kudu if you want to hunt their drinking zones, right? I killed this kudu at almost 8 o'clock a.m. EST sharp, like an hour before I had to leave for fucking jury duty. I was up all night looking for this motherfucker. I fell asleep at jury duty because I was up all night looking for a fictional kudu.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Disgusting!
This nil guy scored 96.3. I also stumbled across him in total accident. I was looking for Nilgai while we were in Sunderpatan, but I didn't expect to find a diamond so soon. He was an initial spawn. I had no grinding done to the Nilgai whatsoever. He kind of just showed up and was like, hey, shoot me. And I said, okay, thank you. That's just one to mark off the list. And sitting next to my Nilgai is my mule deer from Parquet, who was shot at an astounding, I think, 320 yards away, 340 yards, somewhere in that area. I can't exactly remember, but I also took him down in a YouTube video. He scored 316.8. Oh, before I forget, I also I got this guy. I shot this guy very recently. I can't remember which map. I think it was Salzwiesen. I could be wrong. He scored 987.4. Not bad for a tufted duck, but he definitely could be a little bigger. I almost forgot about this cinnamon teal. If I'm not mistaken, I also shot the cinnamon teal the same day that I shot my water buffalo. Let me look over here really quick. The February the 6th, yeah. They were within moments of each other. Like, I think there's 30 minutes difference between them. That's crazy. I also have this ferruginous duck Oh, that's the second time this week that my game has crashed. Well, I guess we'll try that again. Oh. What the fuck? Okay. Give me a second. Okay. I think everything is fine now. And my diamond turkeys came back. Hallelujah. To go over them really quick, this one was a 4.6. The one next to it is a 4.7. The one over here is also 4.6. And the one next to it is a 4.6. Let's pick up where we left off. If I remember right, it was the ferruginous duck, right? So ferruginous duck scored 1050. This one scored 1057. That's not a bad score, but he also could definitely use some work. Like, he could score a little bit higher. My gray-lag goose scored 3.8. Also not a gigantic goose, but a diamond goose nonetheless. Now, my gray-lag goose here scored 3.8. He could also be a little bigger. This one was also an initial spawn diamond on Salzwiesen. I spotted him on launch day and was not able to find him, and I mistook him for a tundra bean goose the entire video. Very embarrassing, but I did go back and find him when I was actually grinding to find the tundra bean goose that I thought I was looking for. Next to him is another pronghorn, scoring 98.59, 9999999, and so on and so forth. I also have another pronghorn sitting here, scoring 100.2. Very big, very cool Kanye. This was also a recent diamond. This is a Canada goose from Yukon, scoring 8.6. My first and only diamond Canada goose ever. And last but not least on this wall, we have 3 big wild yaks. One scoring 274.1. The one top left scoring 280.5, and the one on the top right scoring 275.6. I think that's all the main diamonds. Now let's get to the really cool stuff. Again, for some reason, the trophy lodges are glitching and it's not going to let me display the information for these, but this is my diamond red deer that I spent so long grinding for my YouTube channel on Te Awaroa. I have went through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of red deer, both on screen and off screen, trying to find this guy over the span of months. I would easily say I'm close to the thousands in red deer on Te Awaroa. So if I go back and try to grind for a great one, it will definitely be red deer on Te Awaroa. And of course, to make him look even prettier than what he is, I have a piebald female red deer. I guess this would be a cow. A doe, a cow. Leave in the comments what you would call a female red deer, because obviously she's a lot bigger than doe, like whitetail doe, blacktail doe, etc. Would that be a cow? Let me know. These are also very recent, and I'm so excited to talk about these. I killed these to display the new rifles that were in the Hunter's Choice Bolt Action Rifle Pack. They're on my TikTok. They're 3 individual fallow deer videos, so go check them out. I killed them all with the same weapon. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Johansson 450. Check out the times of these guys. So the spotted one in the back, the smaller one, he was a level 4. He was the first one, scoring 253.6. Shot him at 350. The white one right in front of me scored 265.9. He is the next biggest, 4:08 p.m. EST. And the chocolate one, the biggest one that I have ever seen on my maps, scoring 266.5. And he was shot at 5:20 p.m. EST. So these were all within 2 hours of each other, just about. And if you check their dates, it's all on the same day, December 7th, 2024, 3:50 p.m., 4:08 p.m., and 5:20 p.m. Now, I'll be honest with you, I probably will never top a multi-mount like this unless it's made from great ones. This is a diamond lion scoring 48.5 next to an albino female. Now, this is it's a completely unbelievable multi-mount for me. The albino lion alone is infinitely so much more valuable than the diamond lion that she's paired with, in my opinion. This is a lifetime, like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of trophy. You can get multiple albino lions, I know that. But knowing my luck, I will probably never see one of these again with my own two eyes. At least not outside of somebody else's screenshot. These albino lions are so incredibly rare. It took me forever to find one, and of course, I find one when I wasn't actively looking for one. Over here, I just have your normal run-of-the-mill Cape Buffalo. He scores 156.8. I did go out of my way to look for him because I was testing out another gun. It was a different variation of a 300 mag weapon, and I was very pleased with his performance, but I was even more pleased with the scoring of this Cape Buffalo. And eventually, when I do have another rare lion to pair with it, I will have a multi-mount featuring all of them. Now, here's where things get a little funny. I don't know if they ever fixed the scoring on the Banteng, but in my opinion, when the Banteng dropped with Emerald Coast, the Banteng were absolutely broken. These things are so incredibly easy to find in Diamond, and I think at the time it was the easiest Diamond to find thus far in the history of releases on Call of the Wild. Check out the dates and the times for these things, right? So this one scores 140.2. This was killed this time last year, the day after Christmas, 3:53 p.m. EST. This Mocha Banteng scored 139.9. 2 days before Christmas at 5:51 p.m. EST. This dark brown Banteng scored 140 and was shot January the 3rd at almost 11 o'clock at night. And this Banteng scored 140.2. He was also shot January 3rd at, I think that's 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. As often as I play this game, I should know my military time by now. But either way, these two were shot same day. And I'll level with you. I think 2 out of 4 of these were level 5s, and the other 2 were level 4s. They are just that simple, that easy to find. And last but not least, since I didn't want to fill up the rest of the hallways just yet, and I do want to start filling in this space more, and I mean, boy do I have the room, you know what I mean? And now that Salsweezen Park is out, and I'm getting better at bird hunting, I can go back to Reventuli Coast and bird hunt and everything, and find exactly what I'm missing. But that's besides the point. I have some hidden diamonds back here. 2 of these are water buffalo from Parquet, one scoring 169.3, and the other scores 175.8, and clearly one is much bigger than the other. And sitting between them is a gray-brown grizzly bear scoring 67.3. Also a very recent diamond. I was shooting this one with the Volgarda 375, which also came out in the Hunter's Choice pack. The video of me taking down this guy is also on my TikTok. Before I forget, here are some more recent diamonds. Here's a tan European rabbit scoring 2.4. He was a level 2. I was actually grinding for Gadwall. That we will also get to. I was grinding for Gadwall, and I stumbled across his burrows on the right side of this long stretch of river, and he was getting ready to get scared off. I think he was running towards his burrow or into his burrow when I shot him, and I didn't even know that he was a diamond. I just ping, pop, dead, pick up. Oh, that's cool. This guy made me a hypocrite, ladies and gentlemen. This is a diamond coyote scoring 56.9. In fact, I think it was 2 videos before I shot this guy. I said, quote, "I'm not in the market for a diamond coyote. They're just too difficult. I can't really see. You have to hunt them at night. Everything's hard. It's so hard. Whine, whine, whine." Lo and behold, I go on Rancho just looking around, getting zones for bobcat, and I find this guy drinking out in the middle of BFE at the tiniest little puddle of a lake. It was actually pretty simple taking him down. The video of his takedown is also on my TikTok. In fact, most of these diamonds, if you can't find them on my TikTok, then you'll definitely find them on either my Instagram or here on the channel somewhere. Here's a Eurasian teal, also a very recent diamond. I shot him a couple videos ago while I was looking for Gadwall. He scored 357.7. And last but not least, this is my most recent diamond. This Gadwall scored 1061.8. That's a pretty fucking big Gadwall when you consider that 1050 is diamond prerequisite, point blank period. The same day I shot this guy, I also took down a female albino Gadwall as well. Screenshots of the harvest screen for this Gadwall as well as the albino Gadwall can be found on my Insta Lodge, which can be found in the description. That's going to do it for me today, folks. You've seen the inside of all 4 of my lodges. They're not as filled up as I would like them to be, but that will change. What's your favorite species in Call of the Wild to hunt? What's your favorite map? What are some of your dream diamonds to have? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you would like me to do a tour of my PlayStation 4 lodges, please let me know. I have so much cool shit in there that I don't think I've laid eyes on in years since I started playing PC exclusively. Anywho, that's gonna be all for me today. If you like what you've seen today, leave a like, subscribe if you want, ring the dinner bell for notifications next time I go live or next time there's a new upload. I've mentioned them several different times throughout this video, but the link for my Insta Lodge is down below where you can find harvest screenshots, trophy screenshots, lodge screenshots, as well as photos from while I'm hunting and see something pretty in passing, you know, that kind of thing. And my TikTok is linked down below as well, where you can find tons of more Call of the Wild clips that don't quite make it into my YouTube channel. And with that, it was so good to see you again. Thanks for visiting my lodges with me today. Let's chat again soon. I'll see you next time. Roll the tape. Hey there, thanks again for watching my video. If you'd like, you can select the link to my right to subscribe today, or if you're looking for more Xander content, you can select the links to the left of me to watch even more of my videos. Or if you'd like to keep in touch, you can check out the links below and find me on all your other favorite social platforms. And with that, it was great to see you again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time.